I'll call this meeting to order. We will start with the consent agenda. All the following items which concern reports and items of a routine nature normally approved at AHA meetings will be approved by one vote unless any trustee desires to have a separate vote on any or all these items. The consent agenda consists of the discussion, consideration, and action on the following items. Minutes of the monthly finance meeting on October 30th, 2018. Minutes of the special trustee meeting on October 30th, 2018. And a check report October 9th, 2018 through November 8th, 2018.
I'll move approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
I have a motion by Dr. Brown, a second by Jay Randalls to approve the consent agenda as it was presented. Roll call vote, please.
Casford,
Yes.
Hannaford,
Yes.
Randalls,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ward.
Yes. Okay, next is the CEO's report. Candace?
All right. We have, here in the last couple weeks or so, our census has dropped a little bit. So last month was good, but this month it's kind of slowed down. Kevin will go over some quality assurance stuff. On the table, I'll just remind you in front of you, you do have some HCAP surveys that you might want to look through. We had a total of 6 occurrences that took place in September, 4 of which were falls and 2 medication events. We have formed a fall team to do a risk assessment and problem solve to put some measures in place to try to curb our falls on our swing medications. Also, I attended the SSM affiliate meeting on November 1st, and then the OHA Northwest Region meeting on November the 6th. Medical marijuana has been a hot topic, and I've had a few people ask what our plans are for that. Since we are receiving federal funds from Medicare, we are bound by federal regulations, which means that it's still against the law. So if we have a patient that's admitted that has their medical marijuana card and they bring the marijuana with them, we are not able to administer it to them. We would place it in lockup, and then when they are discharged, we would give it back to them. So that will be added to our tobacco policy. It will become a marijuana tobacco vaping policy. So not a lot changes on that, really. So, any questions about that? There was something else. We are going to be beginning to work on, and it'll be a long process. It'll probably take about a year, but we're going to start working on our rural health clinics, switching our current physician clinics to rural health clinics. We will get better reimbursed, but it is going to take a while to get there, just to get through all of the planning and the policies and procedures, get us to a point that we can, because we'll have to go through another survey. So we'll probably use a company, kind of like we did with DNB, and you know how long that took to get to that point. So we'll be working on that, and also we'll be looking at the 340B drug program, which helps with reimbursement on drugs as well. So some things coming up. That's all I have. Any questions for me?
Anybody? If not, Candace, thank you for your report, and I would entertain a motion on her written report.
Make a motion to approve and accept Share Medical Center written report from the CEO. Second.
Thank you, Jay.
It was.
Okay.
I'll speak up.
Thank you.
Second.
There we go. I have a motion from Dr. Hannaford, a second from Jay Randalls to accept the Share Medical Center written report for November 20th, 2018. Roll call vote, please.
Hannaford,
Yes.
Randall,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
Casper.
Yes. All right, thank you, Candace. Next is the CFO's report. Kevin.
Okay, for October, we had a very good month for the hospital. Hospital gross charges for the month totaled $2,238,101, which is an increase over the prior month of $122,031. Patient days were identical in October and September. They're both at 241. We did see a large increase in our clinic visits. So October we had 1,710 visits compared to 1,251 in September. And a lot of those increases in visits was due to people going there to get their flu shots and stuff. But we did definitely see a huge increase in our volumes. Hospital contractuals for October were 51.6% of gross patient revenue. The accounts that we wrote off to the collection agency for the month totaled $110,611. We also gave away $9,754 in charity care. We had a net operating loss from October of $58,492, but when you add back in sales tax and some other contributions, we had a profit of $23,846. So, and that's using the rates that we have currently got. So that's where we're at. So if you flip over to page 2, you can see that with the increase in patient volume, especially on the inpatient side, that we've increased, you can see even from August, almost $400,000 in gross charges. Expenses, looks like they're up some, but remember this is going to be our last time we have to do this. We had to pay the SHOP payment. That's where we have to send money into the state, then we get the money back. But that was $74,000. So this will be the last time now that we're critical access. That goes away. So that's a positive thing there. Sales tax continued to do real well. Actually went up from the prior month. We're up to $101,747 compared to $100,156. And you can see that we made a profit for the first time in a long time of $22,846. If you turn over to page 4, look at the 2 years side by side, you can see, of course, about $1.1 million more in gross patient revenue. We expect net patient revenue to increase by $420,000. And overall, if you compare the 2 years side by side, last year we were at a $516,000 loss. This year at a $252,339 loss. The first 2 months was kind of hard on us, but this last 2 months have been really good with the volumes and stuff. It really makes a huge difference to our bottom line. Page 5 shows you where we stand as far as cash. Cash did decrease by $28,000 last month compared to the month before, but we still had $173,945 cash on hand at the end of the month. Page 6 is the accounts receivable. Unbilled did go back down, and I think I told you all last month that the unbilled will probably stay in the $500,000-$600,000 range probably every month, especially we have a lot of swing bed patients because they go from month to month and they don't discharge at the end of the month a lot of times. So they sometimes our average, say some of the swing bed patients is over 30 days. So until we bill for that, that makes the unbilled go up higher than what we're used to with just the regular acute care that we've seen in the past. But anyway, we're at $4.2 million in accounts receivable. If you turn over to page 8 and 9, of course, is your balance sheet. And then pages 10 through 12 is our volumes for the last 3 months and then the last 5 years to show you. And you can see that we're on target to be way ahead from patient days and lots of other areas. We've seen some PT visits went way up. Of course, that's in relationship to the skilled patients that we're taking care of on the floor. There's several areas that's seen improvements from month to month or from year to year. So, is there any questions?
Any questions for Kevin? If not, Kevin, thank you for that, and we don't have our audit report. Possibly, would we have to do a special meeting in October or December sometime?
If we want to approve the audit, yeah, we can have a special meeting in December. They're going through, they haven't got it finalized with what they feel like to give us the one without the draft on it. It doesn't change anything, they just didn't get it done. It's still in their hands, so.
Any other questions for Kevin? And we talked in finance, so we do it, say, an interim audit. Some of those reimbursements could go up and make that bottom line maybe even look a little bit better.
Right. Yeah, we've actually submitted data to BKD to look at that. After 3 months, we can do that, so they've got the data, and they're gonna look at it to maybe submit another interim cost report to change our rates, and hopefully to a lot higher rate, but we have to wait 3 months, and this is, we finally got to our first point that we can go out and ask them to look at our rates, so.
Okay. Any questions? If not, Kevin, thank you. Is there anything to report for medical staff?
The only thing, Dr. Hicks is actually upstairs, but he's busy, so he wasn't able to come down. We did talk about, the lab has a piece of equipment that they use for a procalcitonin, which is a blood test that is controversial whether or not it really helps diagnose a patient with sepsis. And that we had been using it for that. They voted to not replace that machine. The machine will no longer be able to be serviced after December, and they voted not to replace that machine because they felt like they have better tests to be able to do that. So that was really the only thing of significance.
The next item is coffee, Kevin.
Okay, we had our meeting last week for QAPI. There was 4 items that kind of came out there, actually 3 items or something else I can tell you, but the big thing is next month is our final month of going through everything, all the corrections that DMV had. We are meeting all the standards that they gave us to look at so we can meet critical access, but next month will be the last month we have to report on that. Another thing that came up is we use something called InterQual that shows whether patients qualify or not for admissions. We are looking at and evaluating whether to go to a different product that will be a cheaper thing. So through our quality thing, we're looking at that to see if that would be something that we could do to improve patient care. And the last thing, Cam, sorry, you kind of mentioned it already, was fall prevention. They've set up a team, and we're going to start monitoring the falls through there. And just because we have more patients, that's the reason the falls are up. I mean, and so we're just looking at maybe some different ways, and we're going to track that to see what we can do to maybe prevent some falls in the future. And the last thing that really wasn't QAPI, but just so that it does something to do with it, is Ashley went to an SQSS, which is our software vendor program in Wichita meeting, and got some more, figure out how to do some more initiatives that we can do and use our products to enhance our quality even a little bit better. So she did go attend that meeting as well. So we'll be using that in the future as well. So, but everything otherwise, everything we was monitoring looked good. So there was nothing that was out of the ordinary. So.
All right. Thank you. And the contracts review, those all were compliant the way that I looked. Is there anything you need to add to that? Does anybody have any questions in regards to that? If not, we'll move on to Share Convalescent Home Report. Rita?
Yes, so October was busy for us. Of course, November and December will be busy also for everybody. Our in-service education that we provided to our employees for October was dining with dignity and positive attitudes. Try to give the staff information to use while they're working or outside of the facility that will help them. The garden club donated their time to clear the east garden area. It was really all of a sudden, but we do appreciate it. I do think probably in the spring they'll be looking at helping us get more things planted there and spend their time there. We had a resident, one of the members, and she just, her family member passed away, and she just has made a lot of really good friends. And she comes up at least twice weekly and she thinks she can come and help us with the garden area, which we appreciate. Our average daily census for October was 59 compared to 54. We sprung right up after that little dip. Our skilled census days were also up. They were 173 compared to 66 in September. We have new employees, Kirsten Eiflor, Beatrice Pinaflor, and Bianca Ruiz. We had to replace 8 CMAs that were all accepted to the practical nursing program at the Votech. Bittersweet, that it is what it is. We do have, we looked at some of our CNAs. We have a qualifying, they have to be there at least 6 months to qualify to ask or request to go to CNA school. We have had several that have indicated and qualified to go. So we're going to try to replace those. We had 2 of last year's PN program nurses take their NCLEX, and both of them passed. Congratulations to Katie Bullock and Haley Kanan. They are now being oriented, and actually one, I think, is off orientation. She sent me a text message this morning that she was going to pull her hair out. I said, no, honey, this is a test. You'll be fine. It was kind of hectic this morning. Anyway, we're also getting ready for the holidays, decorations. We have quite a few guests that will be in for Thanksgiving. The most important thing, I guess, I skipped over, only because, we did have the Oklahoma State Health Department visit our facility. They performed their annual survey, and we have those plans of corrections responded, and we will be compliant tomorrow with those. We will follow just as everything. You have to monitor and make sure the things you change to be compliant stay in place. They won't be back tomorrow, of course, but I do foresee them being back next week or the week after for their follow-up. Our operating cash balance for October was $18,344. This represents 1.9 days of operating expenses. Our accounts payable balance for October was $344,531, which represents 73.3 days. Our convalescent home gross patient revenue for the month totaled $346,770, which was a $37,105 increase. Our patient days, of course, were up from September. Our contractuals are running at 4.9% of gross patient revenue. Our convalescent home operating expenses, excluding salaries, benefits, and depreciation, was $122,514, which was an increase of $28,911. The salaries and wages were $155,955, which was an increase of $5,921. Our operating income for October was $14,345, and our net income was $14,360. I can tell you that our agency staffing with losing 8 CMAs has increased. We're trying to get that back down. It was down for September. That is a continual expense that we wish we could decrease. The rest is just here. Is there any questions?
Any questions for Rita? If not, Rita, thank you. Next is the homestead report. Kelly.
Homestead averaged 42.2 residents a night in the month of October. This was down a little bit from September, about 2.5%. Our occupancy dropped below 80%, down to 76.8% occupied, paid occupancy. We do have our overnight positions that they're unpaid occupancy because they are there for staffing. Though we're down from September, we were up from October of last year ever so slightly with our occupancy percentage, but because of converting apartments, two apartments into 4 apartments, we actually had 2 more residents a night than we did last year at this time. November is going to be up just a little bit, and then December is going to be back down a little bit. So we're kind of in a pattern where we're having some residents move out, and there's a little bit of a lull between new residents moving in. So we're seeing a little bit more up and down right now. But anytime we're over 75% occupied, we feel like we're doing pretty good. We're certainly paying the bills at that level of occupancy. As far as some activities highlights, we've been working with a group here in town that is trying to develop a community garden. And so we've got some space out on the northwest side of the homestead to where it looks like we're going to be able to work with them and then work with us, and they're looking to develop that and manage it with volunteer help and donations and that kind of thing. It would be one that once it's up and producing fresh fruits and vegetables, that we would have access to that for not only our kitchen, but also I believe, I'm not going to state that because I'm not certain. Definitely for our kitchen because it's grown on site. But then also there would be fresh fruits and vegetables that they would intend to go to the food pantry here in town. So I think it'll be good for us. It'll also be good for our community. So looking forward to seeing how that evolves. The group has kind of set themselves up underneath the umbrella of the Woods County Coalition for being able to accept charitable contributions and that kind of thing. So I'll keep you posted as plans continue. We have, had a typical busy month of activities. We had a lot of folks come visit us for our fall festival dinner and entertainment. We had some folks go to the casino in October. Halloween trick-or-treating. Of course, Northwestern's homecoming was in October. We had some residents go to the parade for that, and other outings and entertainers. This week will be welcoming 30 residents plus about 90 of their family members and invited guests for Thanksgiving dinner. So about 120 people here for lunch on Thursday. Is going to be pretty packed, but it's going to be a good meal, and everybody's going to enjoy it, and the staff will be ready to spend time with their families, but they get off after the lunch meal on Thanksgiving Day, so that'll be good. We do that on Thanksgiving and Christmas, and so and then 2 weeks after that, we will have our annual Christmas open house, and so the staff will be, as well as volunteers, we'll have a lot of hands on deck working to get everything decorated for Christmas. And we don't start that until after Thanksgiving, and it's a lot of work, but the staff have every year, along with our volunteers, managed to pull off a great looking facility for when we welcome in folks, and we're going to expect probably 150 to 200 people for that event as well. So and we'll show off our facility and all of that. We have, I almost hate to say it because I don't want to jinx anything, but we've not had any turnover in the last 2 months. We did have one
There you go.
There we go. We did have one person move from full-time to PRN, but the residents are really starting to make comments on how nice it is to have consistency in staffing because, particularly in the dining room, they know what they want to drink. They know their preferences on how they want things, prepared, and it really is making a difference with our residents. And with that, I'm trying to make sure and convey all those compliments and appreciation to the staff. Make sure that they know that it is making a difference, and we're glad they're sticking it out with us.
I'm going to make a comment about staff. Sunday, I was there serving shut-ins. There was ice on some windshields and things of that nature, and one of your staff members was out there scraping windows for those folks to be able to leave and go to church or what have you. So I thought that was above and beyond the call of duty. I thought they did a wonderful job.
And see, I don't ever always hear what's going on, and I think there's, just from the way the residents kind of act, I think there's a lot more of those little things going on that make it really mean a lot. And I thank you for
went out and started the vehicle.
Thank you for letting me know, because we will.
I saw you on Sunday, and I still didn't say it, and then it hit me as you were talking about that.
So I've encouraged the residents to let me know so that I can pass that along to the staff, and of course, anytime you guys hear anything, I'm trying to pass that along because they need to know that they're doing a good job, and they are. We did have one new hire. In October. Sorry, I got something in my eye. I'm not sad. We hired Bobby Jean Jones, and she is working in our housekeeping and expanded services department, if you will, but helping to do some of those extra things for the residents, as well as routine housekeeping services. When we added the expanded services back in July, we were quickly seeing that we needed more help to be able to provide those services. So Bobby is that person that's new for us, and so far still those services are having a positive net impact, even with the additional expenses on our finances. Right now we have we've received a grant from the Share Trust to renovate two one-bedroom apartments, unlike what had been done in the past, but into a large two-bedroom apartment with a big master suite, walk-in bathtub, whirlpool bathtub, as well as a ceiling-mounted lift and track system that will allow. It's designed to be able to allow an able-bodied spouse to take care of a dependent spouse, independent of having to move into a care facility. We're probably, I'm going to say we're half finished. We have completed quite a bit of the plumbing and electrical work for that renovation. The new tub is on site, not yet installed, but on site. A lot of the carpentry work has been completed. The main thing we're waiting on is I had some difficulty getting the company that provides the ceiling hoist and track system to getting them on site, but they'll be here December 4th to do final specs on what they need to install in the apartment to do what we need to do. And assuming that all goes well, I hope that apartment can be available possibly mid-January. And we've established a rate for that apartment based on square footage and amenities, and it should. I can think of a handful of people in the community that would be interested. Some that have already expressed interest. So I think it'll be rented out right away. Have some more flooring projects going on. We completed our activity room countertops. And kitchen's rocking right along, within, 2 or 3% of budget, and last year was last month was a 5-truck month, so they're doing good. As far as the financials are concerned, I'll just go to the year-to-year comparison. We had $77,000 in gross revenue. 62,732 were for our residential revenue, and 14,545 were for our meal sales. For year to date, we're up quite a bit, 23,000. We're up that much at 310,333 for gross revenue versus 287,000 last year. Our expenses are down compared to last year, and we're at 220,000 this year, year to date, versus 245,491 last year. So our total net income is 90,317, which is $49,000 more than last year, where we were at 41,588. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Kelly? If not, Kelly, thank you. Is there anything to report from the foundation?
I have a couple things.
Okay.
First, though, I mentioned the Christmas open house. I'd love to see all of you there if you're able to make it December 6th from 6 to 8. Come and go. The foundation met, and I briefly covered some of this stuff last meeting, so I'm not going to go over all that. But in follow-up from that meeting, we did get our reinvestment of almost $11,000 sent back to the Communities Foundation with a 5% match from them. So that was good. We also have scheduled advertising in the newsgram. You'll see in front of you the giving opportunities for Giving Tuesday. That'll be in the newsgram tomorrow. May change the heading and run it again the following week as well, but I've made a quick trip around the square and dropped some of these off at some of the local financial advisors, tax advisors, and attorneys, so that if they have any clients that are interested in making some charitable contributions, they know what opportunities are available out here. And we also have been kind of looking at a new, I'm going to call it a donor management system, and some opportunities for expanding our fundraising efforts through the use of a different company. Preliminarily, it looks like there's some opportunity to bring in a new system that would be that could work in conjunction with either Meditech or Epic or a lot of the EMRs that are out there on the market, in order to access the appropriate patient information that is still legal for fundraising use. And I'm going to tell you, I don't know all of that stuff, but there's PHI or unprotected information that we can access for fundraising. It's interesting enough that we're continuing the conversation, and as we need to, we'll start talking with the other, and this has just been this week that I've gotten the communication from them, but we'll start looking to see if this is something that, a direction we want to move forward in. We've been using the system we're using since 2007. It's been a fine system as far as managing our donors' information and that kind of thing, but if we have an opportunity to get with a system that allows us to do a better job of fundraising, we're potentially interested. And I will keep you posted on all of that.
Okay. Thank you, Kelly. Next, did Bridget have anything for St. Anthony's?
Just one thing that we did talk about today in finance was the VCA. Is that the right name on it? Let me look at that.
Is it in
Med
the report?
staff, it was not in my report. It would have been in med staff. Let me think for a second. What it is, it's a bundled payment program that right now it's a pilot program. And what it would mean for us is that we would be working with a company that St. Anthony's is working with called Remedy. And this company will basically lay out what the program should look like, what expectations we would need to meet with our swing bed program. And we would have to be able to produce those results. If not, we stand to lose those patients that we send out to St. Anthony's, because under that bundle, basically it's a bundled payment program. It's for a 90-day length of time for a certain diagnoses that fall into that. There's 26, I think, different diagnoses that fall into it right now. And they're trying to take care of patients in the most cost-effective manner possible. St. Anthony's did participate in it last year and saved $1 million. So they know opportunity is there. So they decided to sign up for the pilot program and try to get all the kinks worked out of it to find the opportunities, and in case that Medicare does move forward with it and makes it mandatory, they don't want to be playing catch up. So we'll be talking more about that and learning more about that program. That's really about it.
Okay. All right, thank you. Next, city council report. Bo?
Just a few things. As Kevin mentioned, the last 3 months, finance and sales taxes had a slight uptick every month, which is good. We are still running a little bit behind from the previous year, about 4%, but feel good about the next few months as well and hope that continues. We're wrapping up a lot of projects, including 5th Street. Got a little bit of curbing left on that. We submitted our TAP grant, which is for sidewalks for about $400,000. So hopefully we can get that. We will appoint a committee of up to 10 people to update our City of Alva strategic land use plan. And we added a couple of members. I was recommended to add a couple of members to the Alva Cemetery Board, and those were Dr. James Bell and Jesse Klein. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Bo? If not, thank you. I just have a couple items. One is we need to, I guess, approve or disapprove the AHA meeting schedule for 2019. If you look back under other, well, I saw it a while ago. There it is. Under other materials.
Do that again if I try.
Yeah, it'll be the third Tuesday, pretty much of every month in there. But we need to approve that schedule so that it can be posted.
Make a motion to approve the Alva Hospital Authority's meeting schedule for 2019.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Hannaford, a second by Ayla Simon to approve the Alva Hospital Authority's meeting schedule for 2019. Roll call vote, please.
Randalls,
Yes.
Simon.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ward.
Yes.
Casper.
Yes.
Hannaford.
Yes.
The other item that I guess I want to just make sure everybody's aware of, December 20th at 6 o'clock at the Moose is the employee Christmas party that our board members are also invited to. Be a meal and
Karaoke, dancing,
all that. Dr. Brown will be leading karaoke, and so, anyways, maybe it's at the other end of the table that'll be leading that. But anyways, put that on your calendar. And then I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoy your time with family and friends and good food. And we are adjourned.